Tonight we have a good lineup as always. Lauren will be talking about supernovas, then Maria will teach you all about the bladder, and Luisa will wrap up with a talk about colors and the Ninja Turtles. But before we get to those experts, we're going to start off once again with me just telling you about some stuff I learned about recently this month in Nerdery. So from zoology, I read a really wild article about the Blanket Octopus. These creatures exhibit some of the most drastic sexual dimorphism in the entire animal kingdom. Females can grow to be up to 6.5 feet long, and males, their entire body averages just under 3 centimeters. This makes it practically impossible to find love on Octopus Tinder. And another cool thing about these octopodes, which is the correct plural, thank you to Ralph for that correction, is that they are immune to the poison of the famous Portuguese man-o-war. Exploiting this immunity, they will hunt them down and rip off the man-o-war's stingers, which they then use as whips to defend themselves against predators. But if you're going to Google this later, make sure not to just type in whips and tentacles, or you'll get some pretty weird results. And you may think that's photoshopped, but that's a real picture of a female blanket jellyfish trying to enjoy sex with a 2-centimeter tall partner. We've talked about self-driving cars in this month in Nerdery before, and I'd like to return to the topic to tell you about an article discussing kangaroos. In order to push the envelope with many cutting-edge technologies, people use heuristics instead of firmly defined methods. And one common heuristic used for detecting objects with autonomous vehicles is to assume that pedestrians, other cars, and animals are all on the ground. So when an autonomous vehicle encounters a kangaroo, it can decide, okay, this kangaroo's on the ground, so it's a 4-foot-tall kangaroo, 10 feet away. I should hit the brakes. But when it jumps, using this heuristic, the AI then instead makes the obvious decision that there's now an 800-foot-tall kangaroo kaiju attacking downtown Sydney. And so it doesn't hit the brakes, because it thinks it's 2 miles away. And in the dystopian nightmare that is Australian wildlife, you can't just turn around when you see a gigantic monster. But the takeaway lesson from this is that in the inevitable robot apocalypse, we're not going to be saved by the brilliant John Connor's battle tactics, but by the apparently terrifying for robots Australian kangaroo cavalry. And finally, in evolutionary biology, it's been discovered that during development, babies in the womb form these weird lizard-like hand muscles. Scientists in this article I read said that it is a remnant of evolution, dating back 250 million years to our common ancestor when mammal and lizard evolution first split. For another perspective, though, a creationist in the article said that upon seeing this evidence, it finally solves the debate. And he is now certain that dinosaur skeletons are really just from giant human babies. In the thumbs, these muscles stick around, and they allow the extra dexterity that's required for those precise movements for grasping. But in all other fingers, during development, the muscles are created and then deleted, which is awesome, because without this, we would just have 5 thumbs. And that would make mittens impossible. And without mittens, there goes our chances to ever have Medicare for all. All right, and that's it for me. So let's give a warm welcome to Lauren.